Well, once again, we are winding down on project number 2. We're getting to the point where you should be thinking about how you're going to put your paper together and how it's going to be written. Again, I want to remind you that 5 pages is the upper limit. Okay, I don't have time with 30-some folks in the class. I don't have time to read and properly grade papers that are 20 pages long, so I've put a limit on there. That said, remember, it's a business finance paper, and yes, I've asked you to include some information about the industry. I've asked you to include a little information about the strategy and a little information about the history. That's just to give it a little bit of context, but those portions should not take up a big part of your paper. Okay, I'll be rather forgiving, if you don't go on at length. You should spend a paragraph, no more than 2, and short ones at that. Then, if you use 2, to cover those points. Okay, you should reserve the biggest part of this for the financials, and I may send out a lot of little videos that take a look at companies and show you the things that I look at and where I find things. I'll try to start doing that here in the near future, probably this week yet. That said, our next step is going to be to do the introduction and conclusion. Okay, and what I want you to do here is write your introduction and conclusion. Do I anticipate that'll be the same as what ends up in your final paper? Maybe not. You'll probably have to come back and do some revisions to that based on the information that you find. But I found that I'd get a lot of papers submitted that, to me at least, didn't follow the proper protocols when it comes to writing a paper of this sort. And that is an introduction that tells us what you're going to tell us, and a conclusion that tells us what you told us, along with, in this case, making a proper buy, sell, or maybe hold recommendation on your particular company. So, in your introduction, again, you must tell us what you plan to tell us. I'm going to write a paper, or I wouldn't use that terms. We want to avoid I's if we can, but this paper will be about the history of XYZ Corporation. There will be some information included about the strategy that the company employs. In addition, I plan to tell you a little bit about the industry that it competes in, but mostly this paper will be about the finances of this company. Probably could be said a little bit better than that, but about the financial aspects of this company that may prompt you to want to buy, sell, or hold. Okay, something to that effect. I've given you just a brief example of something that would be adequate. Okay, if you're missing those elements, it's not adequate, and you'll get some feedback on that. Okay, again, you may not have all the specifics at this time, and that's okay. And ultimately, in the introduction, you're not going to put a lot of the specifics. Those will be in the body, right? But in an introduction, there may be a few things that you want to stress, and that's fine. Okay, if you don't have those right now, that's fine. The conclusion, then, once again, you summarize all the major points of the paper. Tell us what you told us. Okay, this paper told you about the history, the strategy, the industry that the company competes in. In addition, there was a detailed financial analysis, and that led me to the conclusion that, you should buy, sell, or possibly just hold this particular company, right? And again, in the conclusion, you're probably going to have, when you ultimately get there, you're going to make a few points that are the key points, maybe, that lead to your decision. At this point, if you don't have those, that's probably okay, right? So I'm really checking to make sure that you're getting the format of the intro and conclusion done correctly. That's all there is to that particular assignment. So it's due April the 11th, and again, I'll probably start doing some short videos where I'll pick out some example companies and show you some things that I would look at on the financials that you should look at in your own companies, maybe, if you have similar issues, I guess, or similar financial things within your own companies, within your own analysis. There you have it. Great. Have a great day. Have a good Easter, and we'll talk to you soon.